In the sport of dog agility, timing can make or break you, and it's often one of the hardest pieces for handlers to learn. But it doesn't have to be complicated. In this video, I'm going to share a simple strategy that you can use to help improve your timing with your dog. Let's get started. Hey everyone, it's Jess Martin here from Agile Dog Training, where we help you bring out the best in your agility dog. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our free training videos. You're late. This is one of the most common phrases I think any agility instructor uses. In fact, when I first started teaching agility, my mentor and I used to joke that anyone could teach it as long as they could say that one phrase. Well, I like to think that my job is a little more complex than that, but it's still the most repeated phrase that I use while instructing my students. So why is timing such a hard thing to be able to master? Well, when I first started agility, I ran 2 dogs. And I remember one time a judge came up to me after I'd run them both in her course, and she said, "You know, you use the same timing for both of your dogs." Well, I think she meant that as a compliment, but I was actually kind of offended by it. I mean, what do you mean I use the exact same timing? The dogs are completely different speeds and they require completely different handling. It wasn't until years later when I started working with my border collie that I finally understood what she meant. Then I realized I was missing a very important piece to the timing puzzle. In order to have great timing, you need to know your dog's takeoff point. My other dogs all had a similar takeoff point, and that's why I could use the same timing with all of them. But now, with my new border collie, he jumped from way farther back. So using the timing I had practiced for years, I was always late. So my question to you is, do you really know where your dog jumps from? Not kind of, sort of, maybe you have an idea of where they leave the ground, but do you know the exact point that your dog would take off for a jump in agility? But how are you supposed to figure that out anyways? I mean, you could take videos of your runs and spend countless hours studying them, or you could have a training partner tell you exactly where your dog jumped from, except most of us train by ourselves. But I came up with a great solution that you can do. All you need is a set of cones, a jump, and a video camera. And your dog. Don't leave out your dog. So to start this exercise, you're going to take your stack of cones and set each one up beside your jump. Now it's really important here that they're the equal distance apart. I just like to step them off. That way I don't have to do any fancy measuring, and I know that I can actually use my footsteps in a trial in case I need to figure out where my dog's takeoff point will be. Once you have your cones laid out, it's time to set up your camera. Now you want to make sure your camera's far enough away that you can see the jump and all the cones that you've set. You may need to adjust the camera a little bit here to make sure that you can see it all. Now you're ready to start filming. Next, it's time to add your dog. Be sure to set them up fairly far back from this jump because you want them jumping in extension. Now, extension is just a fancy way of saying maximum speed. So you want to make sure you give them enough room to really get up to speed here. Now you want to make sure you're far enough ahead of your dog here that they don't start slowing down to look at you. So you may have to send them around a cone or lead out to make sure that this doesn't happen. Now you're going to want to repeat this exercise a few times so that you have multiple videos to review. Next, you want to review your video to pinpoint the moment that your dog leaves the ground. I like to use my phone for this because I can hit pause and scroll frame by frame until I find the exact moment that my dog leaves the ground. Now if you set up your camera correctly, you should be able to see the cones in the background. To find your dog's takeoff point, all you need to do is count the cones and notice how many steps there were in between your setup. Simply count the cone closest to your dog's takeoff point, and since you've stepped out that distance, you now know exactly where your dog jumps from. Now these results may surprise you. My miniature Dachshund actually has the same takeoff point as my Jack Russell Terrier, even though they are much different sized dogs. Almost all handling maneuvers are designed to be done before your dog jumps. So now that you have this information, you can improve your timing. All right, that's it for this video. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and share it with some of your agility friends so that we can help everyone bring out the best in their dogs. Until next time, happy training.